Alright, time to talk about Sailor Moon. So I watched a lot of Sailor Moon as a kid, like a lot of Sailor Moon. It's a very interesting show, I guess. First of all, Sailor Moon, or Usagi is her Japanese name, and I think that was her English name, like Serena or something. I watched both the English and the Japanese, so I might switch between their names. Don't hate me. Whatever. She is whiny and she eats all the time and she like flunks out of school. She's basically a loser. Like, I tried to rewatch the show a few years ago and I was like, I just hate you. Like, I just don't have any sympathy for you. You are dumb and you are whiny and you are fat and I don't understand you at all. But she's not really fat because she looks exactly the same as the rest of the girls, but the rest of the girls comment on how fat she is, which really, like, is really weird to me. I don't know. But like, then she meets the first other Sailor Scout, Amy, and she's got like short blue hair. She's the only one of the main five that has weird colored hair. I don't know why. And I thought she was water for like years. I thought she was like the water Sailor Scout, but apparently she's ice. Even though one of her first attacks is bubbles. Do bubbles come from ice? No. Have you ever tried to blow a bubble out of ice? Let me know how that works for you because I'm pretty sure it's not going to work very well. Just saying. And, okay, so she's like this ice Sailor Scout, and she's got like a weird like headpiece thing where she can like scan enemies. Because she's a nerd. She's like the quiet, nerdy archetype. There's an archetype for every girl in this show. And then the next one they meet is, Ray, and she's Sailor Mars, and she does like fire and stuff, and she works at a temple, and like Sailor Moon is like a huge crush on her, and it's weird. Like, like Usagi meets her, and she's like, "Oh my God, Ray, you're so pretty." Ooh. I'm like, ew, just fuck already. I'm uncomfortable with this. And Ray's like, "I have to pray to my fire priestess thing," and I don't know. She's like into the temple assistant that her grandfather's hired. I don't remember his name because who the fuck cares about men in this show? Not the creators. I'll tell you that. And yeah, and I think at one point Ray is into Tuxedo Mask, whatever his like civilian name is. Damien, something like that. Like, it's like a love triangle. I'm like, but like, it's weird because like Ray is into him and he's into Sailor Moon and Sailor Moon's kind of into her. I'm like, just have a threesome and resolve this already. Like, it's taking up a lot of screen time and it's making me uncomfortable. Okay? And then I meet Sailor Jupiter, and she was always my favorite because she was a brunette and she had a ponytail, and I was like, oh, I can relate. But then I rewatched it a few years ago, and apparently she's supposed to be like really tall and menacing, despite the fact that she's drawn exactly the same way as all the other Sailor Scouts. That's interesting. And there's Sailor Venus, who like was her own Sailor Scout, like in Europe. She was Sailor V, but then she like stopped being Sailor V and she decided to join the Sailor Scouts because being your own hero is lame and being secondary to a dipshit with meatballs on her head is cool, I guess. So she decided to join them, and her power is basically heart. So she was always my favorite, but rewatching it I was like, your power is love. Like, there's ice, fire, thunder, and love. Your heart. Your heart. You're the heart power. You suck. You are the worst. You are the extra one. Also, their Sailor Scout disguises aren't really disguises. They look exactly like themselves, and everybody should know who they are. And if they don't know who they are, then they're fucking dumb. Okay? Like, at least give them a fucking mask or something. They don't even wear masks. They're like, here's my face, and my hair is exactly the same. And in the live action version, their hair changes. I'm not talking about the live action version. I'm talking about the anime. And I feel like these girls fucking lose their memories at the end of every season. And poor Luna, the cat, has to re-find these girls. And every time she's like, hey, do you remember being a magical girl? And the girls are like, no. And she's like, are you sure? Because you were, and I've done this like 5 times, and I'm kind of getting tired of it, so can you just try to remember, and they're like, why do you talk? You're a cat. And she's like, fuck everything. And there's also a white cat who talks, named Artemis, Luna and Artemis. And I think at some point they have like a fucking daughter named Diana, and I was like, what? Like, I missed the part where, like, she was, like, conceived. I just remember, like, watching the show, and there were 2 cats, and then suddenly they had a 3rd one there. And I was like, where the fuck did that come from? I don't even know. But then, okay, so there's, like, the inner Sailor Scouts, like, the Sailor Moon, who's the guardian of the Moon Princess. But then, oh snap, it turns out she is the Moon Princess, so she's guarding herself. I mean, how many people wear meatballs on their head and then, like, long ponytail attachments? Like, I feel like you could almost narrow down these people by hairstyle alone, because, like, who the fuck wears her hair like that? She wears her hair like that when she's sleeping. Like, does her hair fucking grow like that? And if it does, that's fucking weird. Has anybody taken her to a doctor? Apparently not. She got the same parents as Kagome, apparently. And I don't fucking know about that. Okay. Also, her parents get, like, written out of the show, which is kind of sad, because they were always like, why the fuck are you failing on your classes? Why are you so fat? You need to stop failing at life. But then, like, she stops. Also, they have a disguise pen at the beginning where they can disguise themselves as anything. They disguise themselves as, like, 20-something reporters. At one point, I'm pretty sure she disguised herself as, like, a dude, but then they just stopped using it, and I'm like, why did you stop using that? That was a really useful tool. But then you just, like, stopped acknowledging that it exists. Why? Why? You used it before. Anyway, so there's the 4, like, inner Senshi, Sailor Moon / Princess Calmness or Serenity or what the fuck ever, and, like, Sailor Mercury and Sailor Mars, Mercury's ice, Mars is fire, Jupiter is thunder, and Venus is heart, love. Then the outer Senshi come, because there are more than 5 planets. I know, right? And so then Uranus and Neptune come, and in the Japanese version, they were like straight up lovers. They were gay for each other. But somewhere in the dub, they were like, lesbians are a little too much for us to handle, so we're gonna make them cousins. But they didn't change any of the animation or any of the dialogue, so what they thought they were making, like, more normal, they were actually making much more weird, because I don't know about you guys, but, like, me and my cousins were not like, oh my god, I love you, I would die for you. Yeah, no. I'm more like, oh hi, this is a really weird family function, so glad to see you're doing well, and I'll see you later. But no, they're like, I would die for you, and one of them dresses like a boy, and there's like a whole episode where Serena and Makoto, or I forget her English name, but she's Sailor Jupiter, they like chase after this girl because they think she's a guy, and they're like, she's so hot, like I wanna get with her, and then they find out she's a girl, and Sailor Moon like still goes after her until she finds out that she's dating Sailor Neptune, and Sailor Neptune's like, I'm so classy and I play the violin, because that's the definition of classy. I played the violin in 5th grade. My mom told me that every time I practiced, she looked outside for a car accident. I wish that was a joke, but it's not. Anyway, she's so classy. She's like playing her violin and being rich and stuff, and they're gay. They're very gay. Like, I think they live together even in the show, and like, but they're cousins. That makes it less weird, right? Right? Yeah. Yeah, cousins live together all the time. And also cuddle and kiss and talk about how much they love each other. And then, like, Sailor Pluto comes, and she's like, oh man, like, I'm the guardian of time and shit, and I'm tall, and brr, brr, brr. And then it turns out that, like, Sailor Saturn's there, but, like, Sailor Saturn, like, turns evil or something. She turns into, like, an older evil lady, but then she turns into a baby that's not evil. I don't know, that whole plot arc kind of confused me as a child. I haven't rewatched it, I really should, but like, I just remember being like, okay, so she's a kid, and now she's an evil adult, and now she's a baby that's not evil. Okay, sure. So they're all there, and they're all like chilling out and like fighting evil and shit. All like 9 Sailor Scouts, because Pluto's still a planet when this show was around. Pluto was still considered a planet. Okay, Tuxedo Mask is their human male friend who just like, every time the Sailor Scouts are like stressed out, he comes and he throws a rose and he's like, I'm Tuxedo Mask. You gotta stop what you're doing, bad guys. Pay attention to me, Tuxedo Mask. And you're like, why? You're just a dude in a tuxedo who just threw a rose. You have no powers. You are lame. You are annoying. You are like a nuisance in battle, but apparently not. Apparently, males who throw roses have a trump card over magical powered females. Penis power activate. Yay. And so, yeah, so the bad guys. So, first, the first bad guy is Queen Beryl, and she's queen of the Negaverse, which I just realized stands for negative universe. I'm a little slow on the uptake. Anyway, she had like 4 bad guys, but like one of them, like 2 of them were in a relationship, and one of them had like long hair, and so in the dub they were like, he's a girl, and they thought that that would make his relationship with the other one less gay, except for the fact that he falls in love with her like female school friend. So either way there's a gay relationship happening, but I guess lesbians are cooler than gay men in the 90s. I don't really know, but whatever. And like Queen Beryl like freezes everyone in a crystal or something, and like I don't really remember Queen Beryl that well, just that she was mean and she wanted to evil universe. And then like the next season, like then they all like die and they're reincarnated and they forget that they were ever magical girls. And then they're reborn, and then the fucking cat has to come and be like, do you remember being magical girls? And they're like, oh, no. And she's like, you were magical girls? And they're like, oh, what? And she's like, no, you were. Like, I'm so tired of this fucking job. Oh my god, you're a magical girl. Just put your fucking short skirt on and do your fucking job, please. And in one of the seasons, like, the bad guys had, like, a tree that like ate souls, and they were like brother and sister, but they were also like Adam and Eve, and the tree ate souls so that it could send them back to their planet or something. At the end of the season being like, Sailor Moon was like, your tree doesn't have to eat souls, she can eat our magic rainbow dust, and they're like, yay, we didn't mean to be bad guys, we're just dumb. And I was like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, I don't even know. And like, that was the season that there was no Tuxedo Mask. It was like Moonlight Prince or some very obvious stand-in for Tuxedo Mask. Yeah. So then later on, Chibiusa comes, or Rini in the dub she was called, and she was the pink-haired daughter of Sailor Moon, and she was the most annoying thing fucking ever. Nobody liked her. And if you did, you probably also liked Scrappy-Doo and something else that's awful. Like, she was terrible. She was annoying. She falls in love with a unicorn or some shit. I don't even fucking know. Like, maybe he was like, I think he was a unicorn. I don't know. What the fuck ever. And then I had like a movie where she like gets kidnapped by like a ship made of candy or something. She was just annoying, and nobody liked her, and she was like, and like, the audience obviously knows the Sailor Moon is the Moon Princess, but she doesn't know, so she's like, I don't know where this kid came from, but I guess I'll let her live in my house and sleep in my bed. I'm like, I would tell that bitch to get the fuck out, because she's irritating. Second of all, how does a blonde lady and a black-haired guy have a pink-haired kid? I'm just saying, genetics ain't gonna support that shit for a second. She's been fooling around. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. And yeah, she was annoying. And then like the weird like sexually ambiguous villains showed up and they could change genders. And one of them hit on Sailor Moon, but then as a dude, but then it turned out she wasn't a dude, and then it was weird. I don't really know. Like, pretty much the whole show was like magical girls fighting things. Why? We don't know. We just fight things. And yeah, so there's that. And just like, I don't know. Okay. So I don't really know about that. I don't know, it was just lesbian undertones and forgetful girls and cats. Cats who do all the work and are underappreciated in their time. Underappreciated cats and lesbian subtext. That's how I would describe this show.
I'm the daughter of the Moon Princess. Nah, 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 nah.